Ever since I've been little, I've struggled feeling like my life doesn't matter. There are many times in my life where I just wondered, why am I even alive? Why am I here? How can anything I do in this world really make an impact or the slightest bit of difference in this world, to a point where that gave my life value? I struggled with this. Even when I was a child, I was wrestling with questions that many still haven't wrestled with yet, of thinking, I know work's not going to satisfy me, I know all these things in this world. I just knew as a child that those things would not satisfy me and that those things would not give me meaning or a sense of worth. And I struggled with that because it left me feeling really empty. And the thing was, I knew there was a God and I believed in him and I believed in Jesus, but that didn't take away that feeling of purposelessness that I struggled with and that I struggled with for a really long time. Still, even today, these feelings tempt me to believe them as truth, that my life is totally inconsequential and doesn't matter at all. I've always been an artist and always been creating. And as a kid, I would get my hands on everything and make anything and everything. And I did love painting and drawing, but painting in a book, like in a sketchbook, that just frustrated me so much, because what is it worth if it's just sitting in a book and not doing anything? I wrestled with these things that kids don't normally wrestle. So I took my creative energy and I could not stand to make something that didn't serve a purpose. So I learned to sew, and I decided I wanted to sew pillows because that could serve a purpose in making my room cuter. And I'm talking like, that was like 3rd grade or something. And I decided I wanted to start sewing purses, so I made purses so I could use those. And then in high school I started sewing clothes because then those things could actually serve a purpose and benefit my life. I've always had this insatiable desire to create, but I didn't want to create something that would just sat in a sketchbook or something like that. So I wanted to create tangible things that could benefit my life. And that same quest for purpose is something that has plagued me for my life. When I was a freshman in high school, there's this random class that we had to take, and we could do a research paper on anything. And what did I decide to do my research paper on? I decided to research the meaning of life based on different religions. It's not that I was seeking out other religions. I knew in my heart that Jesus was the one I was with, but I still felt that sense of emptiness. Like, I just wanted to know, how are there billions of people on this earth alive? Like, how do they believe that they matter? Which sounds kind of mean, but I just didn't believe that about myself. I didn't believe that I could matter. And I just wanted to know even how people who prescribe to different religions, how they valued their lives, what gave them meaning to wake up every single day. Because there are many days where I woke up and I just felt sucked into a black hole of, how does your life matter in this world? It truly has been such a struggle for me. This question has probably plagued me more than anything else. It's got me into the lowest points of my life. In all the ways and times of my life that I have been depressed, it has really come down to that question. It's come down to me feeling totally worthless, and like what I did in a day really had no impact on eternity. If you're one of my subscribers, you know I have been in the hardest time of my life right now. And for the past year, I've experienced incredible physical torment in my body because of the skin condition that I have. And even in this video, I have just been, I'm so uncomfortable right now. It has been so hard, and that's not even what matters in this video, but you guys, I cut out so much of me just itching. Like, my skin is crawling right now. It just is so uncomfortable. It has left me pretty much bedridden and unable to care for my children, which I was a stay-at-home mom, and just function as a normal human. I mean, this past year I have not been functioning. I look like I'm functioning, but I have not. You don't know my life, so just listen to me and believe it is truth. How do you wake up day after day after day after day after day and literally only have it in you to survive till the next day? In this past year, I have not been able to perform for my value in any sort of way. And I have truly grappled with this question: what is my purpose? How can I have meaning if I'm in bed all day? If I am just on edge, scratching myself 24/7, not sleeping all night long, not able to care for my children, not able to do things around the house, not able to even text my friends back, just to have the emotional capacity to communicate with people. I have been in survival mode for the vast majority of this past year. There are moments and hours where it's way worse, but it's consistently really hard. Really, really hard. How can I have purpose if I can't care for my children, which is one of the things God has put me here for? How can I have purpose if I can't be a good, attentive, helpful wife? How can I have purpose if I have to take 3 months off my YouTube channel, which I did? You know, I was stripped of everything. I literally did not do anything to quote unquote add value to this world for months and months on end. And I mean literally every hour of every day for months and months on end. I had nothing. But since I've been struggling with that question my whole life, surprisingly, it hasn't been any worse during this time, me struggling with that question, what is my purpose? Because I've struggled with it for so long. But there has been the grace to receive truth and to receive the answer to that question in this time. In this past chunk of time, I have learned to just be, and that's enough. I'm learning to trust God that He has put me here. Even if I don't understand the reason, I am here, and me being here brings Him pleasure. You being here on this earth just brings God pleasure, and I've just learned to trust Him in that. And there's nothing that I can do, whether I'm healthy or not, that's going to add to my value. Every day when I wake up and I feel so far from living the life that I want to live based on the physical challenges I still face every day, when I spend hours in the bathtub just to help just soothe my skin, to feel semi-better in my skin, and the day goes by and I'm not with my children and my husband is struggling and I actually don't have it in my physical body to help him, I've learned to just be okay trying to love God in my heart and just give myself to Him and find purpose in that and trust that, you know, He loves me and I'm here and He's put me on this earth. Not to just use me as this, you know, minion to live out His will for me and serve and do all these things. No, I'm His daughter and He just loves me and He gets pleasure in me existing, and I've learned to just trust Him, with my life, where I'm at, the situation that I'm in, even though it's hard, and just trust, you know, trust that He's with me, trust that this is it. Like, even though it's not what I want, I just have had to surrender and be like, okay, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna just love you. My purpose isn't something that I can decide because I didn't make myself. Only our Creator can decide our purpose. Think about it. I shared this in a video ages ago, but imagine I am a painting. I can look at myself and say, I don't like this blue in me here, and I don't like how these brush strokes look here, and I'm just gonna go lie in a corner and be forgotten. Okay, I could say that, but as a painting, where does my value come from? I can't decide my own value. I'm just a painting. I am what I am. Here I am, right? My name is Kaylin, and I have all these qualities about myself. I have reddish hair. I'm 5'2". I have whatever personality traits. I can't judge myself. I didn't make myself. The only one who knows me and can establish my value is God. He made me. He's the one who created me the way He did. And here I am. Here you are. You know, God made you the way He wanted to make you, and He loves you the way you are. And just trusting Him is really freeing. And it's not just trusting Him and accepting ourselves, but it's just trusting Him that He put you where you are. He has you in this life and in this world for a reason. That's easier to understand when you have a clear purpose that you're walking out, which I feel like few of us have that sense of clear purpose in all the things that we do in our life. Even if you have that clear sense of purpose, like I know gifts that God has given me. I do. And I actually do love myself. I really do love and accept myself, but I've still struggled with this question. And then imagine knowing what gifts I do have and not being able to actually do any of them because of the sickness that I have been going through. I haven't been able to be a mother. I haven't been able to be an encourager. I haven't been able to love my husband and just, I mean, okay, I can still love him. I can still love him, but not serve him physically. I haven't had the ability to do that. yet I still have to trust God that I have a purpose just in existing, and that my existence brings him joy. Think about, if you're a parent like I am, think about your children. I don't want my daughter to go and perform for my love. I don't want her to think that she needs to do anything in this world. That's the furthest thing from the truth. I just love her, and I just love being with her. I love my kids, and I love being with them. I have no expectations or desires for my children to achieve on this earth. I mean, there are things that I wish for them. You know, I wish for them to know God's love and all these great things. But I just love them. I simply love them. Can I receive that heart of God for me? Can I receive that God just loves me and wants me to be? He's just happy with me. And that's the journey I have been on this past year, especially the past 6 months, because there's a long period of time where I thought I was getting better and I thought it would be over soon. So I kind of pushed these thoughts aside, but it's when it had been long enough where I wasn't sure where this will lead me, I have had to just accept that more and more, is that I just am loved by God and I bring him pleasure by existing. I don't have to do anything. And I just trust him. I trust him. The thing I try and do each day is love God. It's so simple, but when I'm in the bathtub, when I'm scratching, when I'm just have so much frustration with myself because I can't physically do what I want to do. I just have to let go and surrender and trust God and just have my heart in that loving position towards him and just love him and do my best to love all the people in my life, even though physically I can't support and love in the way that I could before. I just have been focusing on loving and loving God, because that's his first commandment. He says to love him and to love others, and that has been enough. There is this sense of security when everything's stripped down and I'm just at the rock bottom foundation of everything. I'm not searching for my value in anything outside of him, because I actually can't. I actually don't have it in me to like go try and prove myself in any way. But there's this sense of security and comfort and kind of barrenness. Like, I just feel so exposed and so vulnerable, but yet at the same time so secure, because I'm not holding on to anything else to find my value. Saying it out loud, it sounds so simple and not profound, but when you experience it in your heart, there is this, it is simple. There's this simple level of profoundness in just being loved by God. It makes me feel not hopeless. It makes me feel not worthless, because I trust him. I love him. And that's just what I wanted to share. I just wanted to share that with you today. And I hope, I don't know where you're at. I know I'm not the only one who struggles with feeling worthless or wondering how their life can simply matter at all, you know? But it's just trusting. Even when you can't do, even when you can't be what you want to be, it's just trusting him. That's what it's come down to for me, at least. I feel like in my head I could think of so many great things to say on this topic, but that's just really what's in my heart, and that is what has brought me a lot of security in this time. And that simple thought just kind of lifts me out of the darkness and heaviness that I can sink into so easily if I think, what has happened to my life? You know, what am I doing? Where am I going? My life is nothing. I'm just a burden on everyone. When I just let go, God just lifts me out of that place with his spirit, and I just find this resting spot in his love, knowing that I'm enough as I am. And so are you. I love you so much. I hope that you have a beautiful day, knowing that you are loved, knowing that you were made by a God who loves everything about you, and he loves every characteristic about you, and he finds you to be so special, and he's just so glad that you exist, and he just wants to be with you. And it's as simple as that. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.